Hello, cats and kittens. Hola, Jose Yoroshku. We are back in the Crisis Corner, and we're here with some industry news in terms of the entertainment industry, especially the theatrical industry. As you can see from the backdrop there, Netflix news. Netflix is currently in the works to buy Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Discovery, the whole thing, the whole
Warner
shebang.
Brothers Discovery, everything under that umbrella. What effect is that going to have on entertainment in general, especially the theatrical side and the theatrical to streaming? My concern, my initial concern is that Netflix is in the Netflix business. It's not in their best interest really to really bolster theatrical screenings. If anything, sabotage them and get stuff to streaming quicker. I don't know what they might do. They might shorten the theater runs. I don't know if they have control, if they have the ability to shorten theater runs and get the stuff to streaming quicker, they might take that option. I don't know. I mean, where do you sit on that?
Well, they actually stated that what they're going to do is they're going to decrease the amount of time the movies are actually in the theater. So let's say if on average, a movie's in theater 6 months, not that long, let's say 3 months, they might do a month and a half and then go straight to streaming. So they actually already announced that that's their plan, to cut theatrical runs to move it faster to streaming.
That's not a good thing for. I mean, it's not a good thing for the theater.
How long do movies? Before you answer, how long do movies generally stay in the theater now? Let's use Superman 2025. How long was it in the theater?
I'm not.
That was shorter than some.
2 months, month and a half, something like that. It wasn't long. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, back in the day, movies used to be in the theater for.
That's another thing.
6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah, but
like when we used to have cassette tapes.
It ain't been like that for a minute, man. First of all, those days, pre-pandemic, don't even worry about that no more. Don't even consider that it will ever get back to that. Ever. You know what I'm saying? That's done. You know what I mean? As far as I see it, so the new norm is going to have to be somewhere around 2 months or possibly shorter, for as far as the theatrical run.
I mean, it's been proven that they'll leave the movie in theaters if it continues to make money. F1, they put it back out in IMAX after it made its original run. So they will do that. The movie, they did the same thing with Top Gun too.
So they would do that, but I don't think, because the model of Netflix, their bread and butter is the streaming, and a lot of movies did run that course in theater, and it was so in theater, but then when it hit streaming, they actually made their money. So I think that while it's disappointing for us, maybe that it's going to be a short run in theaters, but then think about it, like realistically, how many of us is now going out and watching movies in theater? I mean, I didn't watch Superman in theater. I would take it came to streaming before I watched it.
I refused watching in the theaters.
Huh?
I refused watching in theaters. I knew it was going to be a waste of money, so I just did.
It's a lot of films like that. Like people just they will not. They don't feel comfortable going to the theater anymore for very different reasons. And now, if I can watch a movie a few months after it comes out at home, I'm gonna do that. Even in fact, when we saw Superman, there's a section in streaming. I think it's either Amazon or Warner Brothers, where is a section that says still in theater, so you can watch it while it's still being viewed on screen, because I don't want to go out and venture. So Netflix is saying, you know what, fine, we'll run it in the theater. You will have your run, and then when your run is done, guess what? It's going to come over down streaming, and then you guys can see it at home.
But isn't that where movies? I mean, they're the movies that we like to go to. I mean, I like all kinds of movies, but the movies that I assume that we're talking about right now, superhero genre, action, sci-fi, things of that sort.
Right.
You know, those movies, the general shelf run of that movie to make the majority of its money is going to be within like 2 and 3 weeks anyway. I mean, you're seeing, 50, 60, 70% drop off between opening weekend and second weekend, depending upon what else is out there. So it's not necessarily that Netflix acquiring this studio is going to destroy it. It's already destroying itself, especially considering one of the other things that it did was, when they was comparing the ticket sales, the amount of people that bought tickets for Man of Steel compared to Superman's 2025 in the price. So almost double the people bought tickets at an $8 ticket price in 2013 compared to $16 average price now. So, I mean, I know you're going out, you're spending, if you yourself, say you're just dating, you don't have kids, you're spending $35 to $40 just on the tickets themselves, not including, the $14, $15 popcorn, parking, which everyone's charging for parking, gas to get there, So it's just a whole thing as compared to I could just watch it at home, use the bathroom when I want, get some popcorn.
Pause.
It's just a different experience.
And I think it's the people who are more concerned about the fall of the theaters are my age, are older, around that level. I mean, everybody that was going to the midnight shows when Star Wars dropped and was that social communal type situation. Yeah. I mean, I go back as far as like cats that went to arcades to play video games. And you wouldn't even believe that. You couldn't tell a kid that, you would go somewhere to play a video game barely. They wouldn't even know what you was talking about, know. So if you're talking about, midnight shows and, then getting together and talking about blah, blah, whatever, that social aspect of movies is dwindling and, barely hanging on. Then you take into account the fact that the studios, I mean, I'm not going to get too far into it, but when you get to like Marvel trying to make, what's it called? Secret War, Doom, whatever that thing is.
Doomsday.
And the amount of money that they're putting into that. Okay, you got a ridiculous budget for this movie that has to make money, but literally can't make enough money to feed itself. So those type of movies that are in the theaters are pretty much killing themselves, because like you said, people ain't going. It costs too much in the first place, and you got to milk everybody to make the budget that you unnecessarily put too high to make ends meet on the back end. So, I mean, it's imploding. The whole theatrical thing is imploding, and I think Netflix, they don't care about that. I mean, that's not their problem. If they buy Warner, I mean, if it implodes, it implodes. They'll be all right. Netflix is in the Netflix business. They don't care about the theatrical business. Now, I like movies, and I like going to theaters. I wish people would give me a better reason to go to theaters. But,
I missed the times when we actually had midnight releases, and it was actually a big thing. I've seen episode 1 midnight. I saw all of Batman, Christian Bale movies. I've seen all those midnight.
Right.
In the Dark Knight Returns, it was ridiculous. I stood in line for that movie like 2-3 hours before midnight even hit because I want to get good seats and get in there. Now, again, I know there's been some tragedy with showings and people are trying to stay home because it's safer, but I do miss that social element, being around like-minded people. It's like having a little mini convention.
Yeah.
And we should be able to get back. So even if Netflix did that, just do the midnight releases, even if it's a short run, you still keep that camaraderie, you still keep that like-minded group, that social aspect. And then if you want to take it earlier from there and go to streaming, then that's fine. But you're keeping that going because you still want to make money on both ends. You want to make money in the theaters, and also you want to make money in streaming. Because why would you go ahead and spend all this money on a property, on the IPs, and then just shoot yourself in the foot and not give the theatrical release its room to grow and to make as much money as it can before you move it to streaming.
And you know, like from the production side of things, why shoot in IMAX if the joint's going to be on a TV screen?
Mm-hmm.
IMAX joints will be gone. So I mean, you still, I mean, you're going to get movies in theaters. It's going to happen. You know, you're going to lose a lot of theaters because, you know, again, that financially they won't be able to take care of themselves to the extent that people probably want to believe that they can. But the $1 billion movie, don't count on it. You got to lower your expectations. Maybe 300 million.
I mean, you say don't count on it, but you know, Demon Hunter just did what, 700-800 million?
Blind squirrel
off a budget of 25 million.
Tell you, blind squirrel technique. It's going to happen. I mean, every once in a while you're going to get a pop up.
See, but it's not. Wolverine, Deadpool manipulate, you know, all the elements that they had working for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? It's the same thing as when Amazon came around. Next thing you know, well, I guess Circuit City was a little bit before that, you know, that went away. But, you know, Toys R Us, a lot of just retail stores. Because I would say the same thing. I'm very reminiscent of, like, I like going to malls. I like being able to walk around and do things. I don't like ordering on Amazon. I just don't. It's boring. Just sitting in front of a screen all day, flicking through what you want, and then waiting for the drone to bring it or whatever the case is. So also the same thing with like GameStop. You know, we used to wait to get the games and everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, the midnight releases, you standing in line for hours. I remember standing in line for when the Nintendo Wii, the first one, came out.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They got a line around like 9:30, 12 o'clock release. Cold. But you know, the times change. Like I don't know. Especially with the generation, because it's our generation that's kind of holding on to it.
Right.
As the newer generation isn't. I mean, they're growing up. Remember, my little man's young, and he's intuitive with iPads and cell phones. Barely reading, but he know what he's looking for and what to get and where to go to get it. So it's. I took him to go see Mario, and I'm gonna take him to go see the Mario 2 movie, the animated, when it comes out. I mean, he was a bit younger when that one came out, roughly around 2. So he sat last 45 minutes. He didn't make it, but he made it through the good chunk of the movie. So we'll see how he does now, being a bit older. But it might be the same thing, though.
There's a different generation, and they've had social and communal aspects beaten out of them, either by pandemic or just by time. I mean, time passes, and people's, you know, habits change. You know, I can see, like I said, I can see you're going to get some movies that blow up. I mean, that's going to happen. But that slow, steady stream of the 300 million, and you keep that up. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the peaks. I mean, you're going to get Titanics, and you're going to get, you know, what's my man with the blue people? What's he call him? Avatar. I wish I never bought into Avatar. I saw the first one. It was all right.
I saw the first one. I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Right. But people go crazy over that. That's fine. You know, if it keep you in the theaters, I'm good with it. You know, but I think the rush, the MCU boom kind of got people's expectations, both on DC and Marvel side, that, there's going to be just a regular run of $1 billion movies just yearly.
Which is kind of weird because it literally took Marvel 10 years to get that first $1 billion movie.
Yeah.
Nothing else before the first Avengers.
The massive, consistent success of the MCU, particularly.
Robots is listening to
I've taken over. Yeah, I mean, that's what's completely ignored. Marvel had a bunch of movies come out for 10 years leading up to their $1 billion movie. They must that $1 billion movie hit, then expectations for whatever reason, every single movie that come out, Ant-Man make $1 billion. Are you kidding me?
Right, about the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah,
Right, that's what I'm saying. What world are we living in where that's the expectation for that movie? But you put the budget toward it, though.
Right.
You expect them to get as much as you can.
And
I mean, it's a little bit of delusion.
it was a phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
And people took that phenomena as being something that was going to be,
You can't
perpetual.
duplicate it.
No, it's like, Elvis or Beatlemania. It happens and then you move on.
And also think that at the time, the highest or the top 10 highest grossing movies during that time period, like the majority of that list were Disney movies. So it was some Marvel stuff, some Disney stuff. And then you had Avatar in there, but what was it? Not Endgame. Infinity War beat it.
Yeah.
And then then Cameron did a re-release to top it. But,
which is funny. I thought it was, people was like, one-upmanship. They were just trying to get at each other. People was going to the movies to try to get their movie up over it was like, I want to get Batman over Titanic. Quick, let's everybody go, but it was again, and it was social. It was social. It was one of those things. It's like, backing your favorite band,
Right.
But it's not, that doesn't really apply anymore. I mean, Marvel's going to try to revive the MCU. It's just not going to happen. It's a lot of those IPs too are dead too. I mean, Star Wars dead or dying. Or on the brink of death.
Have a bunch of people that really don't care outside of the bottom line.
Yeah.
They bought something that they got someone else's toy and thought that they could recreate the magic.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of these properties, there's nothing you can really tell me to convince me that they have the best interest of it in mind. You can't. And then when you put the wrong people in charge, like say trying to duplicate that financial magic and that communal magic. So we look at the DCEU. So within it, mind you, it took Marvel 10 years to hit that first billion, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That frenzy. So then you have Man of Steel, 670. Then you have BVS with the 30 minutes excluded and all the bad fabricated bad press and whatnot. 875, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 movies. The first 2 movies. Nothing in Marvel's history. They're already butting on, $1 billion with 2 movies. Then you have Wonder Woman come out, Wonder Woman 7-something on Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad, same thing. So it took 5 movies in 3 years to hit $1 billion off the same track. But then even take a look at it after that, it's been going on for close to 12 years now with the Restore the Snyderverse and all of that.
Right,
so you're talking about like real passion, real hype. That was true with the first MCU, the original MCU over that from Iron Man to Endgame. You have it, but you have people that were already in control squashing it. Why? So I don't see Netflix as being this move as being destroying the movie theater experience. That was already being destroyed by the people running these gambits anyway. You can't trust them. And the only reason why I trust Netflix more so than Paramount, outside of Paramount's duplicitous corporate means, they just seem like they just sore losers. You lost the bid, now you're going to do all this underhanded stuff, and you're crying about it and everything. You know what I'm saying? You're crying to the government, but the fact is, Netflix has been, ever since its creation, apparently, it's been on the cusp of what's the next generation. They came out, the original model was just mailing out DVDs. You don't need to go to Blockbuster. Wanted Blockbuster to buy them. They could have integrated. They didn't. Then they ended up becoming the first streaming platform. And now when you get to things with creativity, they've started to integrate live showings, boxing, football, whatever. into their actual platform. But for us specifically, they've jumped feet first into anime live adaptions, original anime, Korean dramas, K-pop stuff. They're doing things that like they're taking a lot of chances that nobody else is going to take. Paramount's not going to take those chances. If it's not guaranteed money, they're not going to do it. From their eyes, they're not going to do it. And if they do it, we're going to get things like, Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Just a just a bastardized version of things. So I'm not so worried about Netflix getting it. Now, in general, I am worried that we don't get physical copies of things anymore. That's a worry.
It's about like DVDs and so forth.
Yeah. It's very, very hard. Even if they do make them, it's very, very hard. They put them out very limited editions. People grab them things up online like this. So even if they got them on the shelf at the store, you can't get them because they're already being pulled for people that bought them online.
Right.
And then when it's not on your streaming platform anymore, you can't find it.
Right.
You can't see it. That's horrible. That's horrible. Every year I gotta search, try to find Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Horrible movie. Stupid. But I like it. But it's never on anything. Never on anything, and it's almost impossible to find in the stores.
And that goes kind of to the consumer, with the proclivities of the consumers now is not to have the physical. They just stream and they're good.
Yeah,
I got tons
until they don't have it. Too stream.
Huh?
You're good until you don't have it to stream.
Well, that's true.
Right.
I mean, I got like tons of DVDs in the house, but I don't use them because I just put them on Netflix since I'm already paying for the service. I don't even use the DVDs like that.
But the end they get cut off for whatever reason. You'll be glad you got those physical copies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I feel like I'm Captain Kirk, right? So even with the comics, I need physical. I need a DVD in my hand. I like to. Even though I have a hard drive attached to my gaming system where I store games, I still prefer to have my game on the Blu-ray where I can just pull it out, pop it in, and play it.
Right.
And with Netflix, chances are you won't have those things on.
Right.
But again, it's a business model, and it's going to make them. It makes sense for them, and it's going to save them money. I'm not worried about Netflix actually purchasing though. I'm actually all behind Netflix purchasing, and I think Netflix is gonna give them the influx of money that they need, is gonna get in the platform that they need to actually move forward. What I'm most looking forward to, and the big buzz about this was Netflix knows that there's a big buzz for the Snyderverse. And there's rumors already that Netflix is playing with the idea of still bringing back the Snyderverse. After that went out, James Gunn went on Instagram and said that this Netflix merger or purchase does not affect the DCU at all. And everything is moving forward as planned. Don't worry. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure, I don't know if he's actually just trying to put away the rumors. I'm not sure if he's trying to speak into existence so he's not hurt, or that he's not trying, or that he's trying to stop the Snyderverse from coming back. But it would be interesting if they go ahead and bring the Snyderverse, because DC has the multiverse. So theoretically, the DCU and the DCEU, or the Snyderverse, can still coexist and live together in both theater and on streaming because of the fact of Flashpoint.
They could. I mean, he's under contract until what? I think he's under contract until 2020. Was it 27?
Well, that's the extension, supposedly. You got extended for a few more months through 2027 through Man of Tomorrow.
So he's safe in saying that what he's doing right now is going to continue, because he's got at least 2 more years of production to get done. And at that point, the merger or sale or whatever will probably
Yeah.
be done, and then we'll find out for sure. Because I mean, at that point, they don't have any. They're not beholden to him, really, and they can cut him loose.
I mean, I don't
On
understand.
either side, on either side, they're not beholden to anybody once they actually get hold of this.
What we briefly talked about, Jose, about failing upwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Apparently, supposedly Zaslav is still going to be on as head of DC under Netflix. Why? Why? So I guess he did something masterful with the whole, the acquisition or whatnot. But his decision making overall has been horrendous. And I mean, they were they're $30 billion in debt. $30 billion in debt. Yeah, on his watch. They haven't made a profit. Well, in their superhero market movies, they haven't made a profit since like 2000. I think the last one was like, it was Aquaman. So all the Snyderverse movies made a profit. Mm-hmm. Those 5 core movies, they made profit. Nothing else has made profit since then. Nothing.
Okay. If this Netflix acquisition happened, well, before it's set in stone, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some more shares in Warner Brothers. I got shares in Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I say, Netflix is going to do right by themselves. To me, it's not so much that they don't care about the theatrical experience, but ultimately, it's not their concern.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it sinks, if it rises, it's fine. But that's not really nothing that they're going to stick their neck out to try to save. Theaters got to save themselves. They have to give somebody a reason to go out there and spend their money.
Exactly.
Depending on, I don't know if you got to drop the prices, cut back your production costs, do something to get people back in theaters and give them a reason to, keep these theaters alive, because those are jobs too. All the key grips and all of them people that was, working even behind the scenes, the people that work in the theaters, they're going to shut down all of these theaters because they're not making any money. All of that stuff, those are lives and jobs that are just going to be gone. So I don't think movies are ever going to completely fail.
No,
because they're just even when the love for them dwindles, it's too much of a staple of society for people to just turn their backs on it, entirely. So that's not going to happen. But something has to happen in terms of creating an experience that can at least rival what the home experience is. Because the home experience is just too easy, just like you said.
Right.
Pop that joke on, pause when you gotta go to the bathroom. If you gotta go to work, take it with you. All of that, that's hard to compete. You competing with that as opposed to driving all the way to wherever, spending $18 to get in, $20, $50 on popcorn, and then driving back. It's a big ask. It's a big ask,
Well, if we had, if we weren't working, I mean, you can get into societal things too. I mean, you just read somewhere where Finland is going to, they're introducing a 4-day work week. I think like 6 hours each day or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, with the integration of AI, no one's actually thinking about like how we can actually live lives. I mean, if people had more time to go to the movie theater and enjoy life, then maybe, because you really don't need to be at work all these hours. You just do.
But the robots take your job. You ain't gonna have nothing to do. You ain't got no money to spend on your day off.
But think about it. Think about it. The people that we don't need AI to create art. We don't need to create art or create books or whatnot. We need them to do menial tasks.
Right.
And then people just like everything else, we will evolve and figure out like what we can do in different positions. We'll figure that out. So use it for what it can be used for. But that's but when the use is just how can I make the most money the quickest, regardless of who else gets hurt in the process, that's a major problem as well, which of course affects movie theaters because who can afford to go to the movie theater now?
No, that's the problem. And again, and this is just like rich people pushing, money around on the table, So,
and then also, I can tell you also another thing that benefited the movie theaters back in the day that doesn't benefit it now. Like I haven't seen Predator Badlands yet, but before Predator Badlands came out, everybody and their grandmother was acting like that they read it and that they had, they were essentially yelping the movie before they'd even seen it. So any little Easter egg that they thought was this, they're creating conspiracies and whatever the case is, it's too woke, because it's just a female co-lead in it. Like, they're humanizing the predator.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there just like, did you not think the predator was going to be humanized since they're the lead in the movie? Yeah. Like there has to be a connective tissue there. Somebody there has to be a humanized characteristic for it. Even if you do Lion King, like, animals, Zootopia, like they're giving human traits so that you can relate to them. Why would you not think that was going to happen in Predator? So you ding it for a standard writing tactic and you just you destroy any momentum going toward it. So movies have that nowadays where, you're fighting against any kind of negativity that come out because everything about the movie comes out beforehand. And for the most part, it's just a bunch of, negative Nancy's on there online and just down everything. Like you really can't write or do any kind of superhero or comic movie now, without it being like the worst thing ever before you ever see it.
I wanted to. My nephew seen Badlands, and his report back to me that it was all right. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try to give it a shot before it gets out of theaters. If I can,
I'm gonna see it within these next 2 weeks. I'm gonna see it within these next 2 weeks. Give it a little bit of.
Look at it right there. You just said I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can see it if I can. When it's streaming, you don't have to worry about that.
He caught you, Jose.
No, I'm saying. I don't live near a theater, so. And I ain't driving, so I gotta go see it while I'm in DC and then come back out.
Or you can just wait for it streaming.
But like I say, that wasn't high on my list anyway. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't necessarily the flick that I was like beating myself up with.
But that's another thing too, Jose. Even if it's not high on your list, if it's on streaming, one day you're just going to be like, oh, let me go ahead and check this out. As opposed to going out of your way, carving time out, trying to figure out how I'm going to get there, how late I'm going to stay, all that. You see what I'm saying? Like there's so many that work in the favor of.
Did I not say that I needed them to give me a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta make good stuff.
There's nothing guaranteed anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Give me a good reason to go to the theaters. At any time, like back in the day when I was like really in my 20s or whatever, I would do like 3, 4, 5 movies a week. Because I just wanted to go to the theaters. That's just plus you was talking about $2 movies, $2.50 movies. Yeah, sure, why not? But if you're telling me I gotta pay $8, $19, $20, you gotta give me a reason, man. It's like that, Right. So as opposed to like Netflix, I just pop that junk on, drink the same juice that I just bought from the store and keep on.
That's the thing too, Jose. So I didn't see either one of the Addams Family movies in the theater, right? Didn't see either one. No particular reason. I knew about the Addams Family. I've seen some of the black and white, but just it just didn't dawn on me at the time to even go look at it. It was just like, oh, I'll see it later. And I did see it later. I saw it on a DVD or when it came on HBO or something. I don't know. One of the before streaming. However, I saw Wednesday. Day it opened. And I'm trying to figure out, I didn't think about it at the time. I was like, would I have gone to go see Wednesday as a movie in the theater? There's nothing really about that would have like prompted me to go and see it or whatnot, but I thoroughly enjoyed it streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I would have gone to see it in the movie theater. So that's another thing too. Like, I mean, streaming introduces you to, or gives you the platform to introduce yourselves to things you would not normally have, because you don't have to pick and choose where your time and money goes. It's there. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or bad thing, but I know I'm introduced to a bunch of things that I would have never gone to the movie theater to see.
Half of the stuff that I see nowadays is like Korean dramas and weird stuff that I would have never. Did you don't go to the movies?
Bon Appetit, Majesty. Your Majesty. A cooking drama.
Okay.
And before that was Heavenly Ever After.
That was a
highly recommend both.
Have y'all seen Weak Hero?
Weak Hero is my get off, dude. That's my get off. I seen over the seasons on that. That's my get off. Weak Hero is nice, man. I mean, I binged that joke in the first season. I was just like, oh no, what's gonna happen to that dude? You know what I'm saying?
And the cool thing about that is, that's a webtoon.
Is it?
Yep.
It's based on a webtoon.
Yeah.
And what is it? The chicken nugget and my daughter's a chicken nugget. The one where the guy's daughter got turned to a chicken nugget and he trying to figure out how to save her. It is ridiculously stupid, but absolutely hilarious. That's a must watch. That's also a webtoon.
Wow. I don't have anything to beat that. Weak Hero.
Yeah.
Webtoon too. And they got 2 seasons of that on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if they can do a third, but it was nice. It was nice. I seen that, and they got a bunch of little things on there, and I agree with you. I mean, between Netflix, Amazon, some of the stuff they do, it's that competition. There's nothing the theaters can do about that. There's nothing you can do about convenience. The convenience that you get from streaming, but you can up your game. Stop playing around with making movies that cost too much. That basically break your studio with cost. When you can just find a way to make them at a more reasonable cost, maybe you can make more of them, or maybe you can just not take such a big loss on these tent poles that are failing. I mean, a lot of these tentpole movies are failing. Some of them maybe just because they've been overworked, and it's just some of them because they're just too old, And just another video we gotta get into is the new what you call them, where the new mythos and legends gonna come from, But that's another video. We'll work that out. Yeah, where the new legends, where the new, mythos coming from, like your Star Wars and your Supermans and all that. Because some of these guys got to be retired. Because they just been, worked to death, and there's nothing you can do with them at this point.
I think the other good thing about Netflix is the fact that Netflix has a lot of original content, both in anime and in other shows. So I think they can add to the DC and the Warner Brothers catalog.
Give it space to breathe.
Yeah, and also I think this is going to definitely increase their subscribers because the fact that now if they're going to have exclusive rights to these shows, well, guess what? If I want to see some of this in theaters, not going to hit Netflix, I'm going to go there. The two downsides about this is the fact of one, like you said, Alan, that we're going to go ahead and we might lose the Blu-ray altogether because of that model, but also is going to increase because in order to watch Netflix in 4K, it's more money.
Mm-hmm.
And if after this acquisition goes through, you best believe your monthly subscription price is going to increase.
At that point, you got to make a decision. I mean, cable's already high. If you cut the cable and you just go with streaming services, and streaming services bump up, less chances that you're going to the movies. Or you cut. Well, you're not going to cut the streaming services for the movies. I don't see that happening. That's suicide right there. I wouldn't bother. I mean, it's So the theaters is just, they're in trouble. I mean, they're in trouble, and it's just they have to reevaluate the way they do things, and they have to reevaluate their expectations more than anything else. Because if you're running under the same models where you thought you was going to make all of this money, you're going to keep crying and saying that we broke or we're hurting or cinema's failing or however you want to put that. Maybe cinema's not failing. Maybe you just got to readjust what success means. Under the new terms. If you can come to peace with that, all right, fine. You can coexist with streaming, and you'll be all right. But streaming, the chunk that streaming has taken away from the theaters is not coming back. That slice of the pie that they, hewed out for themselves ain't coming back. So forget it. Just take the slice that you got and keep going forward. That's how I look at it.
Now, with that being said, that is the main reason why anyone has a problem with Netflix acquiring WB, because it's going to be one step closer to killing the movie industry. The movie industry, which by the movies, the profits from the movies, they aren't going to anyway. So would it actually help it if Paramount were to pick it up? Because I don't understand how it would, because when is Paramount a conventional studio? They're going to think the same way honestly, they're probably going to think the same way that Warner Brothers did. And they're going to do a bunch of stuff that people are not going to agree with these characters and not think outside the box, not do anything original with them. So they're just going to use the same model that WB was doing to get themselves $30 billion in debt. What's the point of them going? Like, what's the point of them acquiring? Like, what's the real benefit of Paramount acquiring them?
Well, I think they see the value in the IP, and I think they know that they're now trying to compete with how Disney has taken over, and they want a piece of that. So the logical step is to, if I'm going to go ahead and compete with, Marvel, I compete with Marvel with DC or with Warner Brothers, and so that was the idea, the thought, because if I can get Superman, I can get Batman, Wonder Woman, then I can go ahead and I can leverage that investment and turn it on just like Marvel did, like Disney did with Marvel. But there's a lot of different factors that I'm not sure they're understanding that goes into that, because people forget that Marvel's not where it is because of Disney. Marvel bought themselves back and they reinvested themselves, and they leased out their character to give them the cash to make, Iron Man wasn't under Disney.
Right.
So
was a C-lister.
Yeah. And then so after after the success in the theater, then Disney took notice and purchased. So right now, if Paramount try and do it, I don't think Paramount, in my humble opinion, I do not believe Paramount will be as successful as Netflix buying, because if Netflix will actually do what they do, it would be in theaters for a limited run, and then after that run, it'll go to streaming, and that's where they make their money. And then now you're forced, even if you don't have Netflix, if you are a DC fan and you want to watch a DC movie or DC show, you now have to go to Netflix to watch it. And I think it's a brilliant move, and it's a better business model if Netflix does it than if Paramount. I don't see how Paramount can actually leverage that.
From what I understand, Netflix, in terms of streaming services, Netflix is the only one of all of these streaming services that isn't operating at a loss.
Right.
So
they're making Google's the money.
So if
Scrooge
Paramount buys Warner, then it's like two losers joining forces. And
Well, that's why they have
are
all
they
those
gonna
other. That's why they went with the try to get the Saudis and whomever else.
take to boost
You know,
them up to whatever?
right, right.
So technically, it would make
They just did
better
a merger.
sense.
Remember, Paramount just did a
Right,
merger
right,
like a year or so ago with Skydance. There's
right.
no way that they've recovered financially enough to spend this amount of money buying another company.
So
A
technically,
Mm.
hundred.
it would make more
Yeah,
sense
insane. He
if
says 100 and something. They put on the table 100 and something $1 billion for a company that's $30 billion in the red. I understand the whole IP thing. I get it, but yeah, that's insanity.
so ultimately Netflix buying them would make the most sense because at least they've proven that they can make money off of streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they did a live action One Piece.
Yeah,
Would have never, in my wildest dreams, I would have never even, it never even crossed my
I wouldn't
mind
even consider
that
it.
anybody would ever try to even do a One Piece live action. And they committed, what was it, 6 episodes? And now we got a
Yeah,
season 2.
and
That
after
is
seeing
a
what they did to
wildly insane
Bleach
show,
and
and they jumped out there. Like, I love the fact they jump out there with stuff. They are unafraid. Paramount's going to be afraid
yeah,
to do anything that they don't think is guaranteed. And what's even worse is that, like, the DCU is going to be continued. Like, it should have been over with, like, Superman. It should have been over. It was a
Mm-hmm.
horrible. It's horrible. It's the worst comic book movie I've ever seen, and that's coming from now. I mean, I'm including all the craptastic, the old Captain America with the rubber ears. I'm including all of that. This movie is horrible because it's made in the day and age that this movie was made. Superhero movies have been elevated to another level, and it was not unable to reach that level on purpose. I don't even know what that means. What I just said. I have no idea what that means. I just know that movie fit in like the 70s. Like, remember the Japanese Spider-Man?
wow,
That's where that movie belongs.
wow, dude.
It's
That kind of harsh.
it's a supremely flawed movie, unbefitting of this time period. It really is. And the fact that you have people that are the moneymakers look at this and then look at what was going on between Man of Steel and like Aquaman and be like, wow. I mean, just visually looking at it, it looks stupid.
Yeah.
It looks just dumb. Like, I don't even understand like what VX company did you use? The costumes are horrible. Like, the lighting is just super duper bright. I mean, it was a live action Super Friends, that's what it was going to be. You know, just call it Super Friends. Superman and his Super Friends. You know, I would have been cool with that. Like, I'm not against the DCU. I'm looking forward to Supergirl. You know,
they just dropped a little teaser.
I mean, looking forward to might be a little, you know, giving it a little bit too much credit. I'm not, like I said, I'm not against any of it. I just know, I'm just.
It's just stuff at this point.
I'm against James Gunn doing it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the Clayface.
I'm looking forward to Clayface too. I'm very curious. Then they keep on saying that James Gunn keeps on giving these notes, and he's giving notes on things that he's obviously not, you know, it's not equipped to give notes on.
I'm in show me mode, man. It show me, and then I'll be down because I don't really care what's coming out right now. In any of them, like I say, every once in a while,
care.
I don't. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, K-pop jumped up and got me. I was like, yeah, that's a couple of things here and there, but otherwise, I don't care what they do. I mean, if it's cool, it's cool. I'll check it out. But that's what they brought out of me.
So think about this, Jose. Who would be more prone to create? What if they were to do a DC animated anime in the vein of, say, One Piece stretch over 20-some years? Who you think would actually? Because they have the material for it. You can literally just go back and just pick, like, I don't know, just pick from somewhere. Pick Batman year one and go from there or whatever. You can do Final Crisis, DC Metal. You can do all of this in, like, animes, just different series. You have them connected, whatever you want to do. But, you know, literal translation from the book, that's how they do in Japan, from manga to anime. Who do you think would even give that a breath of life? Just a possibility. Netflix or Paramount?
Netflix. Well, can you
Right.
give it to me on a
These
big
other
screen
studios,
though?
they have no idea. Like that's how Demon Hunter caught them off guard, caught the whole industry off guard because
Mhm.
they still, after all this time, are not aware of their own surroundings. That's why they're failing. That's why they're failing because they have no idea what's going on. We're about to get a
Don't
Lethal Weapon 5. We're about to get a
yeah,
Rush Hour
because
4. What
the
the hell is
creatives
going
of
on here?
it's creative bankruptcy. That's true, and that's like I said. That's why you gotta give me a
James
reason
Cameron
to
talking about
go.
doing another Terminator.
Yeah, that's why I ain't going to the movies. That's why like I said, every once in a while, someone will pop up and I go. Or if I just feel like I ain't got nothing else to do that day, and I just feel like doing something or going. If I feel like eating some popcorn, I just go to the movies and then dip back out. And it's not a big deal. I don't even rewatch. I mean, I saw JFK in the movie theater 10 times. I seen Batman Dark Knight Rises at least 8 times in the theaters.
In the theater.
Go back, go back, go back. I don't do nothing like that nowadays. I see Superman once. Only time I go multiple times is if I'm going with somebody who hadn't seen it before.
Mm.
So like if I went and then some boys was like, "Hey, you want to go?" I'd be all right. Got nothing else to do. All right, fine. But that's it. I ain't going back. I see Fantastic Four once, and the rest of the times I've seen it on what you call
Oh,
on
I've
Yeah,
seen
new
the
one.
Fantastic Four like half the time.
yeah.
I fell
You
asleep
said
a
half
lot.
the time.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I haven't finished it yet.
It's like I say, they gotta give me a reason, man. They gotta give me a really. If you can't give me a good Fantastic Four movie, I mean, it's not for you. I mean, you don't know what you're doing.
You know what's sad?
So,
So Kia and I agree that the first Fantastic Four movie, the one with
the
Jessica
his
Alba,
story, yeah.
we actually like that more than this new one
Oh,
is.
easily,
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I watched that before I went to see the one that just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't saying the new one is trash. It's getting close. It's relative, because I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it to a certain extent, but it was like uh, I don't know how to put it. It was like somebody trying to make. It was too safe. It was too, It was somebody trying to make a particular type of movie, like trying to like not paint outside of the lines and just give you the movie that you expected to get or something that you expect to be acceptable.
Yeah.
I think it didn't have a voice. Like
It
I
didn't, no.
didn't know what I was looking at. There was no soul. There was no life to it.
But
But it
I
was
didn't hate it. That's the common theme with a lot of the movies are that I don't hate them.
mhm.
I just don't love them.
Right.
I don't go to sleep dreaming about, oh my God, Fantastic Four was so great.
Think about it.
Yeah,
If this movie would have been the second Fantastic Four, you remember Rise of the Silver Surfer?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We kept Nora Rad in there, and you just would replace Galactus coming in at the end as that, universal gaseous
Clouds or
blob
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
with actual Galactus. And kind of, like this would have been the actual story for back then with those actors playing it. This would have been a fire movie.
Yes.
Would have been fire. Like it was a movie outside of its time too.
Yeah.
Because I get it. I mean, I liked it because I got what was going on with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna watch it. I may watch it in another like 2 or 3 years or something when I decide to do like a Marvel, like a Marvel marathon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Start from Iron Man and just go up. I mean, I do that every couple of years.
Yeah.
So, and it takes me a couple of months to get through everything, but that's the next time I'm going to see it. Not just going one day just be like, oh, but let me look at Fantastic Four.
All right. Well, let's stop here. We going pretty long, but again, y'all out there in YouTube land, let us know what you think. What are your opinions on the prospect of Netflix purchasing um,
Warner
Warner,
Brothers,
and what is it? Warner what? What's it called?
Discovery,
Warner
Warner Brothers
Discovery.
Discovery.
What does that say for the theatrical experience, and can the theatrical experience live happily with the streaming experience? Let us know what you think, and we'll be back with another topic of some sort as soon as we get it together. Until next time, stay loose.